Hey neighbor, let's go on a garden tour, see some interesting things that we got going on. Well, we started this little 20 by 20 spot last year just to show people how much you could grow off of it. And to be honest with you, I've kind of enjoyed it. We got 3 raised beds there. We got some squash growing. Now, in this raised bed, I got me some lettuce growing here, and I actually didn't even mark it, but ain't it beautiful right there? Now, the lettuce for us is fixing to be over with for the year. It's going to get too hot. But then beside there, I put the little Birdie series tomatoes. These are dwarf tomatoes that I love to grow. I also got some growing in containers. But these things grow off in about 45 to 55 days, and they make these nice little tomatoes on there. I just love to grow them every year. They're just fun to grow. They're better probably in a container or a hanging basket. And then we got us a plot of tom onions going. I did this just to eat off of, just to have some. This is not part of my seed crop. Growing right here just for us to eat and enjoy. And we got our burgundy sprouting broccoli. It's about to finish up. We'll get maybe a little bit more off of it. I'm fixing to take these out. Probably put something back like zinnias back in there. They're about over with for the year. And on my lazy garden spot that I grew a lot of my brassicas on there in the early spring, I have got drum gourd growing in there, a whole spot of drum gourd that's a 15 by 30. Now I kind of tease them in the office here that I'm going to grow these and make African drums out of them and sit out here and play them in the afternoon, but that's what they make, this big fine gourd that you can make a drum off of. I seen them years ago at a show, always been fascinated with them, so I'm growing me a crop this year of them. All right, I got me some winter squash growing, red curry that I love. We also got some delicata winter squash over here. Now what's fascinating about this plot here is this is the 3rd crop I've grown on this drip tape without moving the drip tape. I grew corn on this drip tape last spring. I grew zipper peas in the fall last year, and I'm growing winter squash on now. So that's 3 crops without having to move the drip tape. Now I've had a little bit of issue keeping the weeds out of it, but it is doable to get 3 crops there with the same drip tape. And my Seminole XR Corn. You know, I'm like everybody else. Sometimes I get hung up on the variety, and that's all I want to grow. I just love this Seminole corn here. It's tasseling out. And I just can't wait till I'm harvesting it. Fresh sweet corn is one of the most enjoyable things in life for me. I love it. And you know what? In just a few days, I'll be putting silks on there. And next thing you know, well, there's some silks right there starting. Next thing you know, we'll be harvesting some sweet corn. Okay, I got me a cover crop of super beef Flacillia out here. And I've actually got a little bee on the bloomer. It's starting to bloom here. I love this cover crop here. I think this is the best cover crop possible you can grow for pollinators. They love it. One thing I learned this year, I drilled this in rows. I think I would have been better off to broadcast it. I got a good bit of weed pressure out here. So the next time I grow this, I'm gonna broadcast it instead of putting it in rows, and I think it'll smother more of those weeds out. But I got a bloom there. In just a few days, this whole area here will be loaded up with that beautiful purple bloom that those bees love. So I did a little something this year I hadn't done in the past. I planted different plantings of tomatoes about 2 or 3 weeks apart. This is a real early crop of red snapper, and I knew there's a possibility I may lose it, so I didn't plant many, just 1 row there. Look how large they are. Well, I won the gamble this year. I got tomatoes loading up on these things. You can see down at the bottom right there, got plenty of foliage. And folks, you see that nice green color right there? That color of that plant will tell you how healthy it is. You want those tomatoes that nice dark green like right there, and you know they're well fed. We got a couple row of iced potatoes that's starting to mature out, getting ready to harvest. Mama Hall's been out here scratching around, getting us a few. You see those leaves starting to die back there? That tells us they're getting ready to harvest. I'll probably give these just a few more days, and those vines get looking worse and worse, and we'll get out here and harvest our iced potatoes. Now, I got all 3 varieties of the tobacco we sell growing out here, and this is my first year growing tobacco, but I can tell you, this has been fun. This stuff grows fast, which I like. It has these big pretty leaves on there. I don't know how I'm gonna use it, but I have really enjoyed growing it this year. Every time I come out here, it looks like it's put on some new growth. Grows pretty quick. It's just an enjoyable plant for me to grow in the garden. Well, our jambalaya okra is going to be putting on just a few days there. I transplanted this, so this is going to be my early crop there. That's going to get that, have to lean over some to do that first harvest there, but it's looking nice coming along. These hot days and warm nights that we've had recently makes my okra happy. All right, so I got some of these miniature sunflowers here. This is, let's see what this one is. This one is lemon cutie sunflowers, which don't get very high tall, about like this right here, and they're going to bloom out. They already got the heads forming in there. Now I grow these in rows, but you know what? I really think if you was growing these as a border in your flower bed would be their main purpose. I like to grow them just because they're unique. They're short, they don't get very big, and they don't take a lot of room. You could actually probably plant these, you know, row spacing 24 feet apart, 24 inches apart and be fine. See, they just don't take up much room and they're fixing to bloom. Now this is one that we don't sell, I'm trialing this year. This is red coral tomato right here. This is from a rather unknown breeder out there. And I'm trialing this because this is a determinate type cherry tomato that has tomato spotted wilt virus resistance. Now, I know that was a mouthful, but that's kind of unusual to have a determinate type cherry that is disease resistant to tomato spotted wilt virus. I wanted to grow them to see how they did before we made them available to you all. So far, so good. They're looking really good. I hadn't pruned them. I don't intend on pruning them just to see how they do. Plant has a lot of vigor, putting on a lot of blooms. Excited to see what this one's going to do. This is my second crop of squash. We got the first ones are going out on the other side over there. I like to plant me some squash about every 2 to 3 weeks. That way we have plenty of them coming in all, you know, till it gets so hot we can't grow them. And we got to have our Hoss green blaze, green beans there. Got a row of those. We're probably not going to can a bunch of them this year because we did that last year, but this row here will give us plenty of fresh beans to enjoy. All right, you guys know I love growing tomatoes. Now, here's my second plant, and then my second plant is the Hossinators, and they're coming along too. You know, I was probably I said 2 weeks earlier, I was probably 3 weeks behind on these right here. Now, they're looking good. This was the crop I knew I could make. The red snappers, the early ones, was kind of iffy. But we're going to have a good crop of tomatoes come on these Hossinators after my red snappers kind of get through. So we'll have a steady crop of tomatoes all along. Now I count on my Hossinator and my red snappers as my staple tomatoes. I know they're going to make, I know they're going to be well. These 2 rows here are my novelty rows of different stuff here. We got the Pink Delicious right here, which is that heirloom type. We grew it last year. We like it a lot. It's not a real heavy producer, but it makes that heirloom type tomato you probably heard me talk about, Pink Delicious, a lot. Now right here, folks, we got Myrtle. Myrtle's a variety I'm trialing this year that we don't carry. It is a determinate type tomato from a different breeder here, and we're going to trial it and see how it does. So far, so good. Here we got Lemon Boy. I love Lemon Boy. Lemon Boy can be susceptible to some diseases here. They're making some improvements on that with the Plus series. This one right here looks like it bit the dust, but I got one doing well. And here's another Lemon Boy. It looks like it's doing good. All right, I'm growing me some big beef this year. I've grown this one before. This is a proven variety right here. This is that indeterminate type of tomato here. I like to grow a few of those every year. They seem to be doing pretty good. And I got Sun Sugar here. I always love to grow me some Sun Sugar. That's that yellow, indeterminate type, really sweet cherry tomato. And it always performs and does well for me. Now folks, if there's always got to be a surprise in the garden, this is it for me right here. Now this is a new variety for us this year, Indigo Blueberry Tomato. When we looked at this variety, I was drawn to it because of the name. You got to admit, blueberry just sounds absolutely delicious here. So I got this plant, I got another plant here, and this plant right here. And what I'm amazed about is the vigor of these plants. This is probably the tallest tomato in this little patch right here of all these varieties right here. Seems to have a lot of vigor, which is unusual, and it's disease resistant. None of these plants have suffered from anything so far. They have done extremely well. Now the jury's still out. We'll see how they produce and what the fruits taste like and all that. So far, I am really impressed with the indigo blueberry tomato. It's got a pretty plant to it, and it's just loading up with tomatoes in there. Here's kind of a dwarf or semi-dwarf variety, Mardi Gras sunflowers. I like to grow those. Had some extra seeds there up there in my office, so I thought I'd put me a row of those in there. They're a mix, so we'll see all different colors off of that. All right, folks, so right here is a prime example of why we trial stuff in the garden. This is a numbered variety bell pepper that was given to me to trial to see if we wanted to carry it or not. And one thing I've noticed about this bell pepper right here, it grew off pretty well, but the thrips absolutely love it. You see how these leaves are curled up there at the top? It's got pretty heavy thrip damage to it that they don't seem to be able to overcome. So that being said, I'm not sure this variety here is going to cut it for us. It's not growing out as well as I had wanted it to. But that's the reason we grow them, to see how they grow out and what things they are susceptible to. We'll always love to grow our proven varieties of peppers here. Gold Rush banana right there. It's an early producing banana that I love. I just love bananas, okay? And then we got our Pollinator series bell peppers. And these right here do really well for us right there. That's not the largest one by no means, but that is an early bell pepper. So we got those growing. We got some Hoss jalapenos growing. There on this end down here, we got more Gold Rush growing. Oh, look at that, ain't they pretty? Just dug my elephant garlic yesterday. I had a better crop than I thought I had. So I'm letting it lay out here and dry about a day, then I'm gonna put it up there. Pretty good sized bulb there. We'll enjoy them all summer long. All right, I was talking about little Birdie series, those dwarf tomatoes earlier. This is my preferred method to grow them in a root pouch there. Look how they load up. Can you see in there? I grow several of these per year. I even got more planted and more started now. The reason I like to grow them like this right here is I like to give them away. People that don't normally garden or don't have an area to garden, I like to grow several of these a year, and I like to gift them a tomato plant, because this one will grow for them. You can't hardly kill these. It doesn't take up much room. And it's just a joy to be able to gift somebody like that normally don't get to enjoy gardening the way you and I do. This is something else that we grew this year that we're going to add to our seed line this fall. This is red vein sorrel. Now we already have red Panda Sorrell, which is real similar, that we sell as a microgreen. This red vein sorrel can be grown as a microgreen, but it also could be grown just as a herb. And what you do is you just clip it off, eat those leaves, and it sprouts back out. It just keeps giving and giving and giving. These things are stunning in any garden with that color there, with that pronounced red in those veins here. Has a wonderful, unique flavor to them that's good on any garnish or salad. Just eye-popping. I really am drawn and love this red vein sorrel. And our yellow dog watermelons are growing like crazy. They love these warm days as well. So folks, that is a tour of what we got going on in the garden. It changes daily. Hope you enjoyed it. We got some new things we're excited about. We got some things that's probably going to make the cut. So that's just gardening.